Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Happy Friday, I'm Jen Ah. Thanks for joining us on 7 at 7, streaming on Roku. Starting off with business news, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability. MGM Resorts International and the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas are no longer requiring their vaccinated guests to mask up. The new policy is in effect right now as we speak. However, MGM employees are still required to wear masks even if they are vaccinated, and those who are not vaccinated still need to wear their face coverings. Plus, Caesars Entertainment is also making masks optional for vaccinated guests and their employees as well. You're considered fully vaccinated 14 days after receiving your second dose of the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine, or just one dose of the Johnson & Johnson. On to your health news, sponsored by 4M Dental. Love your smile again. Despite CDC's new guidance on masks, the Clark County School District is still requiring their students to mask up in school. District officials say, quote, "At this time, out of an abundance of caution, we must ensure that masks continue to be worn to protect our students and staff." In response to the CDC, the Clark County Commission is also planning on discussing mask guidance as part of their COVID enforcement plan during their next meeting on Tuesday. In your other top stories, sponsored by Carnegie Heights, a man accused of killing his girlfriend's 2-year-old son faces new charges after allegedly grabbing a Las Vegas police officer's gun as he was being arrested. Review Journal's Renee Summerhour has those details. Renee?
Good evening, Jen. Terrell Rhodes is now being charged with 4 counts of resisting a public officer with a firearm and 4 counts of assault on a protected person with the use of a deadly weapon, stemming from his arrest on the murder charge. Rhodes was not present for the court hearing, and a jail officer told the hearing master that he had, quote, a medical issue. Rhodes is already facing first-degree murder charges in the death of 2-year-old Amari Nicholson.
Amari's mom, Taylor Nicholson, showed up at the courthouse today, and she was wearing a white shirt with a picture of her 2-year-old son. When she walked into the courtroom, officials asked her what she was doing here, and she said, "He killed my son," referring to her boyfriend, Terrell Rhodes.
Rhodes is expected to be back in court on Monday. Jen?
Also happening today, it looks like the judge has rejected a bid to disqualify the Clark County District Attorney's Office's pursuit to execute Zane Floyd. In other words, the execution is still happening. Floyd, who is now 45 years old, received the death sentence after shooting and killing 4 people and seriously wounding another back in 1999 at a local grocery store on West Sahara Avenue. The date of his execution is still tentative. Over at the Desert State Prison, a prison officer and a Clark County School District employee are facing charges for being involved in a phone smuggling scheme with 2 prisoners, Samaje Evans and Jamara Matthews. Officials say the pair were in possession of those phones, were also planning to smuggle, quote, drugs and possibly other illicit items. In other news, the state of Nevada is set to get delayed funding for crime victims, including those who are still suffering from injuries sustained during the October 1st, 2017 mass shooting. The Department of Justice will be releasing $40 million to Nevada, funds that have been reportedly held up since April, according to Nevada's senior U.S. Senator, Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto. Now let's take a look at your weather, sponsored by 1 Hour Air. No matter the season, no matter the reason, 1 Hour is here for you. It was a very hot day, temps reaching the 90s this afternoon. Tonight will stay comfortable in the 70s, closing out your work week. By tomorrow morning, winds are expected to pick up substantially. The National Weather Service issued a fire hazard warning. Sunday's looking, though, to cool off to the low 80s with a few clouds. And next week, temps should stay in the mid-90s. In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Get Healthy, Clark County, it's that time of year again, at least for college seniors. Graduation. More than 8,000 UNLV students will be receiving their degrees this week, and the age range for the class of 2021 goes from 19 to 76 years old. The class of 2020 also got a ceremony since theirs was canceled last year due to the pandemic. And we already told you about how expensive Raiders tickets have become. Now, MGM Resorts International plans to offer Allegiant Stadium a tailgate option through its Stadium Walk. Here is the parking lot where MGM plans to host those tailgates at the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Mandalay Bay Road.
So this is, one of the probably going to be one of the largest tailgating areas, for any Raiders game, especially, with all the parking taken up already from season ticket holders and team members and such.
The stadium walk will be open 4 hours before kickoff until the end of the game.
Sports, brought to you by Scenic Brewing Company. Today, the NFL and NFLPA started trending toward a direction that could have answers for what the off-season voluntary workout programs means for players. It'll be considered on a team-by-team basis, and joining us now to discuss what went on with those negotiations is our Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignor.
My sources indicate that when the Raiders get started in phase 2 of OTAs, which begins on Monday and includes the in-person, on-field aspect of it, they expect a good amount of players to show up. You're able to get out there as players, supervised by coaches. Footballs are allowed out there, but offense, defense separated. The sense is there's going to be quite a few players on the Raiders that are over there in Henderson taking advantage of this in person.
Sports betting, brought to you by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. The Golden Knights are minus 235 favorites over the Minnesota Wild at Circa Sportsbook to win their first round NHL playoff series, which starts Sunday. Vegas is a minus 161 favorite over Minnesota in Game 1 at T-Mobile Arena and plus 155 on the minus 1.5 puck line. The total is 5.5. The Boston Bruins are minus 117 favorites over the Washington Capitals in Saturday's NHL playoff opener.
In your entertainment news, sponsored by DiscoverYourNevada.com, brought to you by Travel Nevada. Criss Angel is coming back for what he calls a visual feast. His magic concert, Mind Freak, is returning to Planet Hollywood on July 7th. It'll run Wednesdays through Sundays. Tickets are available at ChrissAngel.com. And in the near future, those in Las Vegas may soon be able to experience the perfect safari or even a walk to the moon without leaving the city. Illuminarium Experiences plans to open its doors in January. The CEO calls Illuminarium a virtual reality experience without the headset. Thank you for watching 7 at 7. If you have a Roku device, just search Review Journal to download our channel. Watch Las Vegas breaking news streaming live on your OTT device. We'll see you back here on Monday for 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal. Have a great weekend.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.